Long before Shango was hailed as a god, he walked the earth as a mortal king, the fourth Alafin, ruler, of the Oyo Empire, a legendary Yoruba kingdom known for its military power and sacred lineage. But Shango was not just any king, he was a man of charisma, fury, and immense mystical might. Oral traditions say he wielded magical stones that summoned lightning from the sky, and his mere voice could split trees in half. His reign was filled with awe and terror, and soon, fear gave way to worship. As tensions rose in Oyo, Shango's obsession with power began to consume him. His hunger to master the heavens led him to experiment with spiritual forces no man dared command. He called upon the sky, thunder, and fire to obey his will, until one day, he unleashed a bolt so catastrophic, it set his own palace ablaze. Some say he fled in shame. Others say he ascended into the sky. But one truth remains, Shango did not die, he transformed. Shango's followers believed that the heavens accepted him as their own. The storms became his voice, the thunder his laughter, and the lightning his wrath. No longer just a king, Shango became an Orisha, a divine force among the Yoruba pantheon. He joined the immortal spirits of nature, warfare, justice, and creation. And unlike other gods, his origins were human, flesh that transcended into fire. The myth of Shango spread like wildfire. His name became a chant of power in every sacred grove, his tale passed from griots to priestesses. Children were warned never to curse during storms, lest they provoke Shango's fury. Warriors called on him before battle. Kings prayed to him for favor. He had become the god who was once man, and yet, more feared than all. And so, from the ashes of his mortal kingdom, a new reign began, this time, from the heavens. To understand Shango is to step into the heart of a storm. His very essence is woven into the elements. He doesn't control thunder and lightning, he is thunder and lightning. When the skies grow dark and clouds churn with fury, Yoruba elders say, Shango is speaking. His divine presence is not subtle, it is explosive, commanding, and absolute. And to his followers, each flash across the sky is more than weather, it is a message, a warning, a divine sign from the God who governs justice and fire. At the center of Shango's terrifying beauty lies his sacred weapon, the Ash Shango, or double-headed axe. Unlike any ordinary weapon, the Ash is both a symbol and a spiritual transmitter. It represents balance, two blades, one for justice, one for punishment. Wielded by Shango, it cleaves through falsehood and oppression. But in ritual form, it is danced with, invoked, and carried by initiates during ceremonies. The axe reminds all who see it, Shango does not whisper. He strikes. His elemental arsenal doesn't end there. Shango is closely associated with lightning stones, sacred rocks believed to have fallen from the sky during thunderstorms. These stones, called Aduanera, are collected by worshippers and held as tokens of divine power. In traditional belief, if lightning struck your home and left a stone behind, it was not destruction, it was a gift from Shango himself. He had visited. You were chosen. Or warned. Either way, the encounter was never casual. Shango's imagery also blazes through his colors and symbols. He is cloaked in red and white, representing fire and clarity, passion and purification. He rides on a blazing ram, dances with fire in his mouth, and beats thunder from sacred drums. His presence is never neutral. He comes either to defend the innocent or to crush the unjust. Worshippers invoke him through fiery drumming, intense dancing, and ritual chants like Kawo Kabiisi Shango, meaning, Hail the King, Shango. Yet Shango's power is not mindless chaos. It is divine order wrapped in elemental force. He punishes not at random, but with precision. He smites liars, betrayers, and the wicked, especially those who abuse power. In a world where thunder can strike without warning, Shango reminds mortals that even kings must bow to justice. His thunder is not noise, it is judgment. His lightning is not light, it is truth. In the thunderous language of gods, Shango's voice is the loudest. And when he speaks, even the heavens tremble. In the intricate tapestry of Yoruba mythology, Shango's place is not merely as a god of thunder, but as a figure of complex emotions, moral struggles, and divine politics. He is a force of nature, a god of love, war, and fury, yet his journey among the Orisha is marked by betrayal, jealousy, and the battles that shaped his divine authority. Shango's life on earth, before his ascension to godhood, was one of passionate rule and difficult relationships. His most notable, perhaps, was his turbulent marriage to Oya, the goddess of winds, storms, and transformation. Their bond was powerful, yet laced with discord, for Oya's tempestuous nature often clashed with Shango's own fiery temper. In many myths, Shango and Oya are depicted as partners in both love and war, a divine power couple whose arguments could split the heavens and whose union could cause the earth to quake. But their love was not without jealousy. Shango's passionate and volatile nature led him to make enemies, especially with his former wife, Oba. According to legend, Oba, devoted to her husband, was deceived by Shango's infidelities and sought the advice of Shango's mistress, the powerful and manipulative goddess Umoja, who had her own complex relationship with Shango. In one heartbreaking tale, Oba, overwhelmed by jealousy, cut off her own ear in an attempt to win Shango's love. The wound became symbolic of betrayal and the wounds that love, when unbalanced, can inflict. Shango's connection to his wives was not only personal but divine. His relationship with Oba represents love unfulfilled, while his turbulent bond with Oya embodies the passionate forces of the universe, winds that may sweep you away, but only after they have first set your heart on fire. Yet it is in these relationships that Shango's complexity truly shines. He is not merely a god of destructive force. He is a god of desire, of feeling, of constant struggle between the self and the divine purpose. His marriages illustrate that even gods must contend with their own emotions and limitations. But Shango's role as a god of war, more than anything, sets him apart from other Orishas. He represents justice and vengeance, the power to wage righteous war against the forces of oppression. His warriors are both feared and revered. His drums echo across battlefields, summoning followers to confront tyranny. Shango does not fight for conquest alone, he fights for freedom, truth, and the correction of wrongs. The thunder he calls down is not just an act of nature, it is a declaration of his presence, his righteousness. The complexity of Shango's relationships within the Orisha pantheon reveals the duality of his nature, tender yet furious, loving yet vengeful. His divine partnerships, filled with love and betrayal, mirror the emotional and spiritual struggles of the human heart. In the end, Shango is not merely a god of thunder, but a symbol of the passion and wrath that live within us all. Shango's journey from Africa to the Americas is a tale of resilience, transformation, and transcendence. As millions of Yoruba people were forcibly taken to the New World through the transatlantic slave trade, they brought not only their bodies but their gods, beliefs, and rituals, Shango among them. While physical chains confined them, their spirits remained free, carrying Shango's power across the ocean. In the Americas, where African traditions were suppressed, Shango's worship endured in secrecy. The Yoruba gods were syncretized with Catholic saints to protect their divine identities. Shango, known for his fiery nature and protection of the oppressed, was often equated with Saint Barbara, a martyr associated with fire and storms. This link allowed Shango's followers to continue their worship covertly, while his presence reverberated in moments of crisis and resistance. Shango's power grew in the shadows of Afro-Caribbean religions such as Santeria and Candomblé, where his worship became an act of defiance. In these rituals, Shango was invoked not only as a protector but as a force of retribution against injustice. His drumming, his flames, and his thunderous wrath became symbols of resistance for the oppressed peoples in the Americas, especially in Cuba and Brazil. Shango's power, rooted in African spirituality, adapted and thrived in these new environments. His influence extended beyond religious spaces, inspiring resistance movements like the Haitian Revolution. Shango became a god of freedom, a spiritual force invoked by revolutionaries, such as Toussaint Louverture, in their fight against slavery and colonial oppression. His wrath was seen as a divine weapon to strike down tyrants and liberate the enslaved. Shango's name became synonymous with empowerment for those fighting for justice. In Brazil, Shango's worship blossomed in Candomblé, where rituals honoring him with drumming, fire, and dance echoed ancient Yoruba traditions. The enslaved Africans in Brazil invoked Shango not only for protection but for the strength to defy oppression. His energy surged through the Afro-Brazilian community, linking them to a past of divine sovereignty and a future of spiritual resistance. In the diaspora, Shango was not just a god, he was a symbol of defiance, transformation, and the eternal fight for freedom. Shango's power endures not only in ancient stories but in the living rituals and practices of his devotees. In modern times, his worship remains deeply rooted in the spiritual traditions of the African diaspora, from the sacred groves of West Africa to the bustling streets of the Americas. Shango is not just remembered, he is invoked in powerful ceremonies where his presence can be felt in every beat of the drum and every flash of lightning. At the heart of Shango's worship is the sacred drum, the instrument through which his spirit is called forth. Drummers, skilled in the intricate rhythms of Yoruba music, play to summon Shango's presence during religious ceremonies, festivals, and rituals. The sound of the drum, sharp and commanding, mirrors the crackling thunder that follows Shango's arrival. In these sacred spaces, Shango's energy is unleashed, enveloping his followers in a divine storm of protection, healing, and empowerment. Shango's followers also honor him with ritual dances that channel his powerful energy. Dancers, adorned in red and white, move in rhythms that mirror the rumbling fury of thunder. The fire, a symbol of Shango's divine wrath, plays a central role in many rituals, with fire dancers and priests carrying flames to invoke Shango's transformative power. In the swirling motion of the dance, the boundaries between the spiritual and the physical blur, and Shango's followers feel his divine presence among them. Beyond the ritual, Shango's influence extends into everyday life. His name is invoked by those facing adversity, calling upon his strength to overcome life's challenges. In the Afro-Caribbean traditions of Santeria and Candomblé, Shango is considered a protector, and his worshippers turn to him for both spiritual guidance and worldly success. Whether it's overcoming personal struggles or battling systemic oppression, Shango is seen as a source of unstoppable power for those who remain steadfast in their faith. Shango's legacy transcends religion. He is a symbol of resilience, defiance, and the enduring fight for justice. His stories, rich with passion and fury, continue to resonate with those who seek to overcome injustice and oppression. In the modern world, Shango is more than a deity, he is a living force, a reminder of the power within all of us to strike back against adversity and to stand tall in the face of the storm. Shango's thunderous legacy continues to echo through time, reminding us of the power of resilience, justice, and divine strength. His worship, rooted in ancient traditions, still inspires millions across the world today. If you felt the power of Shango's story, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more captivating legends from the depths of African spirituality.